Okay, let's dive right into this. Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're totally bypassing all those generic solar basics you probably already know. Instead, we're going to unpack the specific mechanics of roof-based solar power for your home. We're literally looking at two completely different ways to harvest the massive star at the center of our solar system. We can capture its light, or we can capture its heat.
Think about this for a second. The next time you pull into your driveway, just look up at your roof. Right now, it might just be, asphalt shingles or metal, just keeping the rain out. But how exactly does that totally static surface transform into an active power plant for your refrigerator or your smartphone? Well, to really understand this transformation, we have to follow two distinct paths of solar tech.
Path A, the light harvesters. The sun essentially throws two main things at us every single day, right? Light and heat. Let's start with the light. When you see those standard sleek black panels on a neighbor's house, they actually aren't looking for heat at all. They are strictly hunting for light. The foundational science behind these light harvesters is something called the photovoltaic effect. Standard solar panels leverage this exact process to directly convert sunlight into everyday power. But let's zoom in a bit and look at how that actually plays out mechanically inside the silicon cells themselves. It's honestly like a tiny, invisible game of billiards. When photons bombard the panel, they crash into the silicon cells and physically knock electrons right loose from their atomic orbits. Bam! These newly freed electrons are instantly gathered up and channeled into a directional flow. And that flow, that is your electric current. And this brilliantly illustrates how, in total silence, billions of times a second, the sun's light is mechanically transformed into totally usable domestic power.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the contrast. Because the sun isn't just a giant light bulb up there, is it? It's a massive raging furnace. And this brings us to a completely different approach for your roof: solar thermal systems. So instead of focusing on light to excite electrons, these thermal systems pivot entirely to capturing the sun's raw heat.
Which brings us to Path B, the heat trappers. Through this lens, we abandon the whole photovoltaic effect completely. Forget the light. Instead, we're treating the sun as a massive, free source of thermal energy that we can just catch and store. For a homeowner, the application here is incredibly direct. So the crucial point is, by completely ignoring the light and just trapping the heat, this cosmic energy instantly translates into cozy domestic comfort. Instead of powering your flat-screen television, this thermal energy is transferred directly into your home's plumbing. That gives you a completely solar-powered hot shower. Or it can be routed through your house to warm up your living room on a chilly afternoon. Let's move on and see how this builds when we zoom out. While thermal panels on your roof are great for heating your water, scaling this tech up leads to something way more advanced at the grid level. When massive solar arrays capture intense, concentrated heat, they actually use it to boil water and create high-pressure steam. And that steam drives a massive turbine to generate electricity for the grid. Honestly, it's kind of a brilliant irony. The absolute most futuristic green energy grids on the planet, yeah, they still rely on a good old-fashioned industrial-age steam turbine to get the job done. So, bringing it back home, we have standard panels using the photovoltaic effect to turn light into current, and we have thermal systems trapping heat for your water. It really completely changes how you look at the surface of your house, doesn't it? As we wrap up this explainer, I'll just leave you with this final thought. Knowing all this incredible, silent science just waiting to be unleashed right above your head, will your roof be harvesting the sun's light or its heat tomorrow?